Speaking of, I can't defend Ubisoft, man. These guys are poor. They are fucking poor. So for those who haven't been following the Ubisoft saga, last year they were bought out by Tencent for billions of dollars, and they had to split off their company, and they made a separate company where certain IPs will be housed in that company, and then certain IPs Tencent will own. We all thought everything was going to be okay because Big Daddy Tencent, you know, they cut a fat check, but it seems Ubisoft is still strapped for cash. That, or they're restructuring because Daddy Tencent told them, look, if we're going to cut you a fat check, we need you to get your house in order, because we looked around and things are looking a little... According to this article, Ubisoft details major company reset. 6 games were canceled. 7 games were delayed. And 2 studios were closed. God damn, nigga.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
All right. The organizational restructure, which has been in the works for a year, is designed to help the French publisher reclaim its creative leadership and drive a sharp rebound. Now, I believe the drive a sharp rebound part. That's why they're letting go of people. They're cutting fat so they can save money. I don't know about the reclaim creative leadership part. Like, who is stopping you from being... I'd argue poor leadership is the reason why you're in this place in the first place. But anyways... It said on Wednesday, following a turbulent few years of disappointing game launches and plummeting stock value, which recently resulted in a minor sale to Tencent. Get on my body, bro. As a result, 6 games have been canceled, 7 delayed, and 2 studios have been closed. The company confirmed during a media briefing attended by VGC. They did this at the Video Gamer Conference. Like, what? Jesus, bruh. The 6 games canceled did not meet Ubisoft's new enhanced quality expectations, it said, including the much delayed Prince of Persia Sands of Time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One of the 6 games that got delayed is one that a lot of you were looking forward to, the Prince of Persia remake. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It just didn't meet the quality. And I mean, this should surprise nobody because they announced this shit like 4 years ago. How long does it take to remake a classic game? The foundation is already there. Clearly it was struggling at some point in development, but I'm not gonna lie, this game out of all of them getting delayed is a giant red flag. What do you mean a classic game that you were just remaking didn't meet the quality that you were looking for? What does that say about the original games that you were working on? Just some food for thought. A mobile title and 4 other announced games, including 3 original IPs. Oh, Lord! Lord! 3 new IPs got canned. We're never getting an original experience from Ubisoft again, at least for 5 years. And in the next 5 years, Ubisoft got to fix the books. They got to start making some money before we start getting... It's no creativity coming, bruh. None. In addition, Ubisoft said it delayed 7 games to ensure they meet quality expectations. I guarantee you at least 4 of those are Assassin's Creed. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Of those 7 games, 4 of them are Assassin's Creed, 2 are Far Cry, and 1 is probably that tactical Rainbow Six game that we were talking about yesterday that leaked. It did not say which games has slipped, but confirmed that 7 titles, including 1 title that has been planned for release before April 2026, which now be released April 2027. Ubisoft has conducted a thorough review of its content pipeline over December and January, the company said. This has led to the strategic decision to refocus its portfolio, reallocate resources, and comprehensively revise its roadmap over the next 3 years. This will support the objective to return to exceptional levels of quality on the open world adventure segment. Oh my Lord! I was joking. I was being facetious, but this right here tells me everything I need to. The open world adventure segment. So 4 of those 7 games that got delayed are definitely Assassin's Creed. The other 2 are Far Cry. Oh my Lord. And Step changed the group's position in the gas native experience segment. I'm gonna tell you what happened, man. What happened with this situation is, I'd imagine, because keep in mind, the reason they're in this situation, like, this company was poorly led. They didn't just magically wake up and say, you know what? We're full of shit. Because if they had any self-awareness, they would have known they've been full of shit since probably Watch Dogs 1 in 2014. So they didn't just wake up and become self-aware. What happened was, Daddy Tencent, they wrote that fat check. Probably some representatives from Tencent flew on over to France or Toronto or Montreal, wherever, one of these, or Singapore, one of these Ubisoft studios, they flew over and they just started knocking shit over. They said, all right, so you're going to cancel that game. You're going to cancel that game. I don't like the way that one looks. You don't sell your company for billions and not give up some level of control. Come on, guys, be for real. 2 studios were closed as part of the reset, Ubisoft said. It's Halifax and Stockholm studio. We knew about the Halifax one from the other day, which were previously announced. During a web call attended by VGC, the company said it would consider selling other assets, but did not provide any specific details. Translation, it might not be over. There might be more doom and gloom going on, man. Yeah, they cut the fattest of checks, bro. Ubisoft is also accelerating its cost reduction initiatives, it said, and is now aiming to reduce its fixed costs by an additional 200 million euros over the next 2 years. The company wouldn't comment directly on the number of layoffs that could happen as a result of restructuring and cuts, but regarding canceled projects, CFO Frederick Duguet said there are some people who will be refocused on other big projects and some may leave the company. And, you know, jokes aside, as fun as it is to rag on Ubisoft, this is the unfortunate part about this situation. The poor leadership from the higher ups is going to affect people in their way of living. And in this economy, you know, it's not just a US thing. The global economy has been down for a while now. So it sucks to see people losing their jobs. As previously confirmed, Ubisoft's new operational model will be structured around multiple independent creative houses, the first of which is Vantage Studios, the subsidiary part owned by Tencent, opened last year, which will oversee Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry. Translation: prepare for a lot of Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry. On Wednesday, Ubisoft detailed the other creative houses for the first time, each organized around a distinct genre. CH2 is dedicated to competitive and cooperative shooter experiences, including The Division, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell. CH3 will operate a roster of select sharp live services such as For Honor, For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Brawlhalla, and Skull and Bones? Nigga, I just named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I do not want to play. And somehow they gave it its own division. This is fucking crazy. CH4, which will focus on fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes like Anno, Magic and Might, Rayman, Prince of Persia, and Beyond Good and Evil. So Section 4 are games that are never coming out. CH5, which Ubisoft says is aimed at reclaiming our position in casual and family-friendly games in brands including Just Dance, Uno, and Hasbro, aka the cheap stuff that we could turn around and produce on an annual basis. Shout out to Watts with the big raid. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. In addition, Ubisoft has 4 new IPs currently in development, including the recently, this is actually insane to hear, they canceled 3 IPs and they have 4 more. So they had 7 new IPs in total in development and not one of them came out. This is crazy. Including this is why they burning through cash. Why don't you guys work on, most studios from my knowledge, they're working on one game that we're aware of. They have another game in pre-production. They're just doing art and shit like that and planning out the general ideas. And then everything else is on a fucking whiteboard, you know? This company is working on 7 games at once, and then you wonder why they're all fucking ass, man. That's why motherfuckers is on stream talking about...
Man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna finish this mission up off stream.
A jack of all trades and a master of none. In addition, Ubisoft has... Welcome to the stream, kid. 4 new IPs currently in development, including the recently acquired MOBA March of Giants. Who asked for this? which it says will be assigned to a creative house at a later stage. Speed running bankruptcy, speed running that shit. Each of the creative houses will have its own leadership and end-to-end responsibility for its portfolio, from development to publishing and financial accountability, which Ubisoft hopes will help make it better, faster decisions and lead to more hits. So they're basically breaking into 4 small teams who will be responsible for their own individual games, basically. The creative houses will be supported by a creative network team, which will share studio expertise and provide co-development support, as well as core systems groups, which will focus on technology, QA, localization, business planning, and more. Specific development studios will be assigned to each creative house, Ubisoft said, while some will be assigned to the creative network and work with multiple houses. As part of the changes, staff will be expected to return to the offices 5 days a week, with an allowance for some work from home days. This is why all their games feel like they blur together, pretty much. To be quite honest, now I'm kind of afraid about the next Far Cry game. I mean, Far Cry hasn't been good since... I feel like the last Far Cry I enjoyed was probably Far Cry 5, and I didn't even love that one. That one was just kind of okay. From like Far Cry 3 to like 5, the series was okay, but it hasn't been good for a while, in my opinion. You like that Cuba shit? Yves Guillemot, founder and CEO of Ubisoft, said in a statement, on the other Far Cry Primal, I saw there was a Far Cry Primal 60 FPS update for the PS5. I said, who the fuck asked for that? Why did you even tweet that? I swear nobody cares. Anyways, on the one hand, the AAA industry has become persistently more selective and competitive, with rising development costs and greater challenges in creating brands. On the other hand, exceptional AAA games, when successful, have more financial potential than ever. In this context, today we're announcing a major reset built to create the conditions for a return to sustainable growth over time. With the rising development cost, man, you got games like Arc Raiders and Expedition 33, which are cheap. I don't want to hear this shit anymore. We are transforming Ubisoft's operating model to produce exceptional quality games on the 2 pillars of our strategy: open world adventures and GaaS native experiences. At the center of this transformation are our creative houses, integrated business units now combining production and publishing, and therefore unifying the gamer relationship. Translation: people will be wearing more hats for less money. Each one is built around a clear genre and brand focus, and will have full responsibility and financial ownership, led by dedicated leadership teams. Translation: if one of these networks, one of these groups within Ubisoft, their game fails, I will blame them. So then I no longer have the blame. I would be like, no, that was CH3. That was CH3. It is a radical move, relying on a more decentralized creative organization with faster decision-making and best-in-class cross-functional core services, supporting and serving each creative house. He continued, to put the creative houses in the best conditions to succeed, we decided to refocus our portfolio with a meaningful revised 3-year roadmap and accelerate our cost reduction initiatives to right-size the organization. We will discontinue several projects currently in development and provide additional time to certain games to ensure enhanced quality and maximize long-term value. We will also selectively close several studios and continue restructuring throughout the group. Now, they're putting a lot of emphasis on reorganizing and strictly just focusing on releasing quality. I'm letting you guys know right now, in the next 5 years, if you guys don't drop damn near some fucking classics, we're gonna fucking clown you. I'm letting you know right now. Because that's only on the other side, you guys are opening yourselves up for memes. While these decisions are difficult, they are necessary for us to build a more focused, efficient, and sustainable organization over the long term. Taken together, these measures mark a decisive turning point for Ubisoft and reflect our determination to confront challenges head on to reshape the group for the long term. The portfolio refocus will have a significant impact on the group's short-term financial trajectory, particularly in fiscal years 26 and 27, but this reset will strengthen the group and enable it to renew with sustainable growth and robust cash generation. Ubisoft is entering a new phase, one designed to reclaim creative leadership and build value for players and stakeholders over the long term. Translation: for the next 2 years, they expect to have slow growth, but in 2028, once all these systems, in theory, should be working in tandem, they expect to be putting out great games, making hella money, and being in the good graces of not just gamers, but their shareholders. And you know what? Because you gave us a timetable, feel free to clip this. In 2028, we will be holding y'all asses to the fire, your feet to the fire. We will be checking to see, because you put yourself on this timetable, not me. We gonna see if them games are good or not. Did anyone read the MSN article that was written about ball and gun gamers with TBH as a reference? Nah, you talking about the Washington Post? There's an MSN article? Is that different? Link it. You're in the YouTube chat. If you can't link it in the YouTube chat, because you might not be able to, tweet it to me or send it to my Instagram. I can pull it up. Whatever happened to Beyond Good and Evil 2? Well, that's a good question. So we went over it, right, in this article. 6 games have been canceled. 7 have been delayed. 2 studios have been closed. But you know what didn't get canceled? The game that's been in development for damn near 20 years, and we still have not seen it. Exclusive, Beyond Good and Evil 2 survives Ubisoft's Project Purge. And this, when I saw this article, because, you know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I believe in second chances, right? You know, everybody fucks up, right? But after I had read that original article and I seen this one, I was like, I don't know if I believe this shit. Ubisoft, yo, take this game out back and shoot it. There's nothing you can do that is going to please anybody because we've been waiting for so fucking long. But anyway, let's read the article. Beyond Good and Evil 2 survives the Ubisoft Great Purge. Inside Gaming has learned that one of Ubisoft's longest in development projects, Beyond Good and Evil 2, has survived Ubisoft's latest round of project cancellations. Beyond Good and Evil 2 continues to make headlines as the longest in development title ever, having been in development since it was revealed on May 30th, 2008. Guys, do you know how old I was in May 30th of 2008? Mind you, I'm 35 right now. May 30th, 2008, when this game was first announced, I was 17 years old. And I know that because my birthday's in August. I was fucking 17. I graduated high school in 2008. This is fucking disgusting. With a total of 6,445 days at the time of writing, or for those who hate math, 17 years, 7 months, and 22 days. Everybody posting their age. Yeah, just post your age to put it into fucking, to put it in context. Like, this is ridiculous. Hold on, one second. This is fucking ridiculous. I was in a damn 5th grade. I was 8. A lot of y'all niggas was in diapers. That shit gross as hell. Some of y'all was shitting yourselves when this game was first announced. However, the current version of the game has been in development since around 2017, which still means a good 8 to 9 years of development. So translation, it was originally, the original version was announced in 2008. They had a build for that, but they didn't like it, so they scrapped it. And now there's another version that they restarted in 2017. Regardless of records and long ass development timelines, though, Ubisoft still thinks that Beyond Good and Evil 2 has something to give. Despite the recent restructuring that has seen 6 games canceled, including the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, sources tell Insider Gaming that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in active development, at least for the time being. In 2023, Beyond Good and Evil 2 saw significant changes, with Ubisoft's Montpellier being under the investigation over an unprecedented number of developers experiencing burnout and going on sick leave. According to sources, constant changes, pushbacks, and the lengthy development time have likely cost Ubisoft $500 million in development costs. But at least for the time being, Ubisoft feels like it's a cost that's justified. As for when Beyond Good and Evil 2 will release, it's anyone's guess, but it's possible the game still won't be seen for a number of years. They've burned $500 million. So if you don't understand this, if this game ever does come out, let's say the game comes out in the next 2 years, right? They might burn another 100 million. So we're going to put it at 600 million. The game would need to make 600 million to break even, to make $0. Zero. Because this game costs $500 million to make alone already, at bare minimum, this game needs to generate $1 billion to generate a decent amount of profit, which means it's gonna have to be like a bona fide classic. It's gonna have to be Elden Ring, Expedition 33, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk type of shit, right? Grand Theft Auto 6 for ball and gun gamers. Even though that game's not out, it's a classic in your mind. Don't lie. Even though you've never seen any gameplay, it's a classic in your mind. Don't lie. Because $1 billion type numbers is GTA 5 type numbers, and games rarely do that, to be fair. So you know, good luck, Ubisoft. There's no, I don't think it's gonna happen, because Beyond Good and Evil is a classic game. It is a really good game, but it is niche. If you were around I'm gonna show my age. If you were around, pull up the reveal trailer. Can you? That's fucking funny. Let's see if we can find it. If you were around when Beyond Good and Evil was popular during the GameCube PS2 era, first of all, you know it wasn't even popular. Even back, like now, I'd say it's a super niche game. But even back then, when I was a kid, this was a niche game. It was a if you know, you know. And the people who played it, they loved it. But it was never a popular game. Yeah, it's a cult classic. If you know, you know. Beyond Good and Evil original trailer. God damn. Oh wait, Beyond Good and Evil 2. My bad. That's the one from 8 years ago. Oh, 2008 announcement trailer. Holy shit. My dad played it a lot. He's been waiting. He's 64 now. This is the original 2008 trailer. This shit not even in HD. he said this predates the MCU. That's fucking funny. Well, no, didn't Iron Man come out 2008? Depending on when this trailer came out, it might predate the MCU. That's fucking funny, man. Holy shit. Damn, I remember the OG G4 talking. Yes, the original G4 was talking about this shit back in the early 2000s. Since then, G4 has died, came back, died again, and this game still ain't came back. This shit is fucking crazy. It's crazy. And I was there. I watched it die. Just taught myself how to emulate on my tablet. Generational knowledge. Type shit. From what I remember, that it was just a cutscene. I remember this trailer. They didn't show anything. People just got super hyped before it. This is it, man. This is it. In less than a month, this trailer becomes a legal adult. Why are we still here just to suffer? Like, people are still coming and leaving comments, bro. This fucking funny, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think this game is coming out, Chad. I don't think it's coming out, but you know, keep fighting a good fight, Ubisoft. Back when Ubisoft was gaming royalty, they were. But let's see what else I got for y'all. That was a good laugh. Thank you for that, Ubisoft. More marathon news. There's also a leak of the 08 build with some there's no reason to looking at it because they canned that build. Marathon's creative director says Bungie wanted to push the boundaries of what an extraction shooter can do with its story as it goes head to head with Arc Raiders in its evolving world. Shout out to Hounded with the sub. In the time since Marathon's controversial public alpha, Bungie returned to the drawing board to make major changes and even introduce new features like proximity chat, solos, and Rook. We love that. We love that. They're listening to the community. Effectively a free loadout option. At this point, the change seems to have a positive effect on fans who were previously not too impressed with what Bungie was showing. Shout out to Nasty with the super chat. Bro, off subject. Arc Raiders is half baked. Why you feel like it don't? Hey, listen. You are not allowed to criticize Arc Raiders. They're gonna come get you. They're gonna find your IP address. Arc Raiders is the greatest game ever created, according to them. While it's more subtle and nebulous than these changes, Bungie has also claimed it's doubling down on the dark, gritty, and grounded sci-fi world. Through an updated visual style, deepened environmental storytelling, and the narrative tracking codex. This focus on narrative and world as an extraction shooter is rather hard to understand without seeing it in action. Nevertheless, when Bungie announced the voice cast of Marathon with the likes of all these people, Marathon's creative director Julia Nardin explains that the team wanted to push the boundaries of what an extraction shooter can do with its story, going on to say that Tau Sati might appear abandoned, but the world of Marathon is very much alive and populated by the incredible cast. And this kind of answers my question that I had about this game yesterday when they were revealing all the details. It sounds like they are going to be doing a lot of story, which, you know, that's kind of, I feel like one of the things that made Bungie was their storytelling with Halo. And I always felt like they dropped the ball with that with Destiny. I mean, obviously they got a little bit better, but like it took a long time for Destiny to hit its stride. I didn't forget. So it sounds to me maybe like they're going a little bit back to their roots. They're giving us more. They said we wanted to push boundaries what an extraction shooter can do. Oh, that's the same thing I already read. What this means exactly remains to be seen, but it certainly points in the right direction. A deeper world with more storytelling and world building than you expect from a multiplayer game, much less an extraction shooter. Don't expect a linear traditional narrative, I'm sure, but more of a fleshed out lore, factions, and ongoing developments on the world. Translation, you're gonna have to find all the shit, all the little trinkets and the Easter eggs and stuff like that. Or they need to work on their gunplay. They needs much of rework. At least with Destiny, the gunplay was on point. To be fair, with Arc Raiders, the gunplay is also indicated by your gear. If you're using low level weapons, it's not going to be smooth. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really feel like the gunplay was bad in Arc Raiders. I think maybe you need to spend a little more time finding stuff and crafting. I don't know how many hours you got. Of course, it's hard to ignore the elephant in the room, Arc Raiders, which has also pushed more of a narrative approach with an evolving world and its threats. It's not long that we unlocked the Stella Montes map, an abandoned research lab in the mountains, through a community event. I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie's attempting something similar with the studio's history and the army of famous voice actors on the project. So yeah, it sounds to me like they're trying to make sure that this $40 game has a lot of value. It's not just going to be, another extraction shooter, but they're actually crafting an interesting world that is going to make you want to come back for more constantly. Will they stick that landing? We'll see. I think in March, when it's supposed to come out. But I'm not mad at this. I feel like they're doing a really good job. And and we don't know if the game's going to be good. I'm strictly speaking about the current state of the game. The game was announced. People were kind of like, whatever about it. Some articles came out saying content creators didn't like it. They gave it some bad press. Then the alpha came out. People didn't really like it. March 5th. Okay. They took the feedback, and instead of being in their ego and getting butthurt like Ubisoft, they actually took the feedback, and now it has positive karma. They've kind of broken the stigma. So, I'm rooting for Marathon. I hope it's good. At bare minimum, it looks like the gunplay is good. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Did the other play tests get delayed? I don't know, but I know they said before the game comes out, everybody's going to be able to play it. But here's some negative news in regards to Marathon. What do you think about 2XKO? I think I'm not going to play it. I played the beta. It's okay. But I didn't really feel inspired to grind that game. And it kind of came out at a weird time, at least the console version. Next week, we allegedly have High Guard. I don't know if that game's coming out or not. We'll see. But even if it doesn't, February 6th, Neo 3 comes out. I'm going to be on that. We also got Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9. So I'm just not too worried. I'm not too worried about 2XKO. What's the temperature on 2XKO? Y'all fucking with it? We're talking fighting games. I'm waiting for Marvel. I'm waiting for the Invincible game. I'm waiting for the Avatar game. Room temperature. I don't feel like I see anybody talking about it on Twitter. And it's crazy because it's free to play. Marathon pre-orders somehow caused Destiny 2 to begin installation on Steam. Those who pre-ordered Marathon on Steam following its release date reveal may have noticed something strange come in aftermath of their eager purchase, as Bungie's other big release was being sneakily installed for those keen on the upcoming extraction shooter. In a statement from the official Marathon development team account, news that this ultimately harmless but funny bug has been fixed and was conveyed to the public. It reads, "We've resolved an issue where Destiny 2 would begin installing after pre-ordering Marathon on Steam. We have also resolved an issue where the collector's edition owners would receive an error when attempting to activate their game code on Steam." Yeah, a bug. That shit was there. If nobody, let me ask y'all a question, chat. If nobody complained that Destiny 2 started installing for people who pre-ordered Marathon, do you think they would have ever fixed it? Just some food for thought. Do you think they would have ever fixed this bug? Because I have a hunch that says they wouldn't have. They said, let's see if we can fuck them over real quick. But it's been fixed, so it's nothing to worry about if you pre-order the game. That's fucking funny, dude. Y'all do y'all 15 minutes a day. Who did they read in chat? Ex-Bethesda lore master and Skyrim lead says Starfield's main problem was not enough Todd Howard. When he would get pulled away from the game, that would really hurt the game. Former Bethesda lore master and Skyrim code lead designer Kurt Coleman, who was around until about the time Starfield released, says that's because Bethesda Game Studios simply got too big for lead developers like Todd Howard to manage while also having direct and have hands-on input on the game. "I was working directly on Skyrim and I was the lead," he told PC Gamer. "That was how all leads worked then, and so I was directly working with all the people, all the quest designers, myself, He added that Skyrim marked a turning point in that regard, which is one of the main things that drove him to leave the company in 2023. Ultimately, Coleman reckons the main problem with Starfield is it didn't fully cohere as a game, which I could definitely see being an issue where there are so many different creatives, all with their own unique visions, clashing for visibility in a single project. In other words, too many cooks in the kitchen made Starfield a bad game. Coleman clarified that he thinks Howard is a very good project lead, but with BG's rapid growth, he would often get pulled away from the game, and that would really hurt the game. As big, publicly traded studios continue to push towards infinite expansion, we're likely to continue to see this issue in highly anticipated released games. On paper, they're being made by the same development teams as previous beloved games. So like on paper, it says it's made by X, Y, and Z studio, but you really don't know who's doing it on behind the scenes. Whoever was talking about that MSN article, you didn't link it. Where'd you send it at? You tweeted to me or something? I believe this. I mean, was it Microsoft bought the studio, bought Bethesda, and they're rapidly expanding. So then Todd Howard is probably all over the place. I've been to game studios. They're big as college campuses. So, you know, he might be on one side of the building and just don't have time to be on the other side. And they started a game and they don't have the people whose main idea it was working on the game. Now you have a bunch of people who are mainly just programmers who didn't actually have this idea, trying to figure out what you want for your idea. So to that I say, it sounds like Bethesda, it was Washington Post. He just saw it on MSN. Okay. So, what was I about to say? Basically what's happening is it sounds like they're suffering from the same thing as Ubisoft, where it's too many projects going on at once. Building has gotten a little too big for its britches, and y'all need to calm down. Why are you guys working on 6 games at once? 1 or 2 at the time, 1 to 3 at a time. Downsize a little bit, focus on just putting out a quality product. You don't need to be all over the place, because when you are, there's no focus on anything, and then you put out bad products. And Starfield is a bad fucking game. You know how I know it's bad? It's not that I just played it. Recently, Starfield in the last 2 weeks was back in the conversation because somebody did a complete overhaul of Starfield, and they created this mod, this Star Wars mod. It recreates the game in the Star Wars universe, and you get to play as like the Mandalorian and shit. And it's actually a really cool mod. But in my head, I'm thinking, you know, this isn't like a fun, cool mod that you can use to expand Skyrim, right? Because at the end of the day, if you look at other Bethesda games that were modded light, right? The mods enhance what's already great. You know, it's Thomas the Train inside of Skyrim, but it's still Skyrim. They had to make a completely different game when it comes to Starfield to make people want to play it. That's what I thought. People were like, oh, this is so cool. You can now play Star Wars and start a Starfield. Like, no, this is a completely different fucking game. This shit sucks. Shit fucking sucks, bruh. So hopefully they get it together. Hey, listen. For me, it's been World War Bethesda, because even though Bethesda fans love to get on their knees, they won't get off their knees and defend themselves. They love to fix the broken games for Bethesda. Especially after that vampire game, Redfall. For me, the real last straw for Bethesda, where we're going to launch full-blown war against them, will be Blade. The MCU has already fucked up Blade. If Bethesda fucks up Blade 2, it's going to be World War Bethesda 3, nigga. We're going to skip 2. It's been World War Bethesda. We're skipping the second one. We're going to World War Bethesda 3. We're going to wage all-out war. It's going to be all types of slander. Blade ain't Bethesda, G. That's Arcane. I don't know if you know, but Arcane is under Bethesda. Well, actually, I don't know if you know that. Arcane's under Bethesda. And Arcane is notorious for having bad optimization, which is Bethesda. Same, yeah. Well, actually, it's under their umbrella. We gotta tell the ball and gun gamers they hide GTA 6 betas in Bethesda HQ. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. Get it together, Bethesda. What else I got for ya? Expedition 33 sets world record for Game of the Year award, surpassing Elden Ring. Expedition 33 has set the world record for most Game of the Year awards, surpassing From Software's Elden Ring. Last year, IGN reported that Expedition 33 was once again sweeping award nominations, this time at the Game Developers' Choice Awards. And earlier the same week, Expedition 33 absolutely dominated the annual DICE Award nominations along with Ghost of Yote. Even with BFTAs, DICE, and GDC awards and more still to go, Reset Era's Angie, who's been keeping an eye on all the nominations and wins, reports that Expedition 33 has clocked up a staggering 436 awards, surpassing prior top spot holder Elden Ring with 429. Need Dishonored 3? We do. Me personally, I still would put Elden Ring above Expedition 33, but I'm not going to say they don't deserve it. I think this is a case of like right place, right time. So whatever. Expedition 33 beat me for Employee of the Month. It's beating everybody, bro. It's beating everybody. World War Bethesda, if they cancel Blade on Black History Month, nah, that's facts. Don't speak that into existence, though. Don't speak that into existence. And then last but not least, Crimson Desert has officially gone gold. After multiple delays, it looks like it'll finally release on March 19th. That's what going gold means, for those unaware in gaming. It does not mean it sold 500,000 copies like in music. Going gold means the game is actually done. It's just ready to ship. So shout out to them. They definitely will be hitting their release date on like Grand Theft Auto 6. When I see that Rockstar says GTA 6 has gone gold, then I'll actually believe that the game's coming out. Until then,